Chinua Achebe works. MCQs.
Introduction. Chinua Achebe was a Nigerian novelist, poet, professor, and critic. The style of Achebe's fiction draws heavily on the oral tradition of the Igbo people. Another hallmark of Achebe's style is the use of proverbs, which often illustrate the values of the rural Igbo tradition. He wrote novels, short stories, poems, essays and children's books. A prevalent theme in Achebe's novels is the intersection of African tradition and modernity.
No longer at ease referred to as the African trilogy, following and preceding. A. Things Fall Apart and A Man of the People. B. Arrow of God and A Man of the People. C. Things Fall Apart and Anthills of the Savannah. D. Things Fall Apart and Arrow of God. Correct answer, D. Things Fall Apart and Arrow of God. No Longer at Ease, 1960, is the second work referred to as the African Trilogy, following Things Fall Apart and preceding Arrow of God.
The title No Longer at Ease comes from the closing lines of whose poem? A. T.S. Eliot, B. S.T. Coleridge, C. William Blake, D. W.B. Yeats. Correct answer, A. T.S. Eliot. The book's title comes from the closing lines of T.S. Eliot's poem, The Journey of the Magi.
What comments does Mr. Green make about Africans after his tennis match on the morning of the trial in No Longer at Ease? A. Africans are honest. B. Africans are innocent. C. Africans are corrupt. D. Africans are cunning. Correct answer, C. Africans are corrupt. Mr. Green is an old Englishman, accustomed to the ways of colonialism and the mindset of such. He believes that the English brought education and civility to Africa. He also believes that the African is, by nature, corrupt.
Who described Things Fall Apart as the first novel in English which spoke from the interior of the African character, rather than portraying the African as an exotic, as the white man would see him. A. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. B. Wole Soyinka. C. Nadine Gordimer. D. Nuruddin Farah. Correct answer, B. Wole Soyinka. Wole Soyinka is a Nigerian playwright, poet and essayist. He was awarded the 1986 Nobel Prize in Literature.
Arrange Chinua Achebe's works in chronological order. A. A Man of the People, Things Fall Apart, No Longer at Ease, Arrow of God, Anthills of the Savannah. B. Anthills of Savannah, Things Fall Apart, No Longer at Ease, Arrow of God, A Man of People. C. Things Fall Apart, No Longer at Ease, Arrow of God, A Man of the People, Anthills of Savannah. D. Things Fall Apart, No Longer at Ease, Arrow of God, Anthills of Savannah, A Man of the People. Correct answer, C. Things Fall Apart, No Longer at Ease, Arrow of God, A Man of the People, Anthills of Savannah. Things Fall Apart, 1958. No Longer at Ease, 1960, Arrow of God, 1964, A Man of the People, 1966, Anthills of Savannah, 1987.
Achebe's which novel was won the Booker Prize? A. Things Fall Apart. B. No Longer at Ease. C. A Man of the People. D. Anthills of Savannah. Correct answer, D. Anthills of Savannah. Anthills of the Savannah, 1987, was his fifth novel, first published 21 years after Achebe's previous one, A Man of the People, 1966. Nadine Gordimer praised the Anthills of the Savannah's humor, particularly when contrasted against its depictions of horrors.
Which of Achebe's novel has similarity to future events? A. Things Fall Apart. B. Arrow of God. C. A Man of the People. D. Anthills of Savannah. Correct answer, C. A Man of the People. Achebe's friend, Nigerian poet and playwright John Pepper Clark declared, "Chinua, I know you are a prophet. Everything in this book has happened except a military coup." Later on, Nigerian Major Chukwuma Kadunanzi-Ogwu seized control of the northern region of the country as part of a larger coup attempt.
In Arrow of God, who engages in the palm wine drinking contest? A. Afo Edu. B. Obika. C. A Dutch. D. A Kubo. Correct answer, A. Afo Edu. Afo Edu is Obika's, Ajialu's second oldest son, friend. He engages in the palm wine drinking contest. Ajialu often cautions Obika that nothing good can come of having Afo Edu as a friend.
Known for speaking his mind, he never paused to bite his words. Appears in Achebe's A. Arrow of God. B. Anthills of Savannah. C. A Man of the People. D. Things Fall Apart. Correct answer, A. Arrow of God. It is a metaphor that appears in Chapter 4 of Arrow of God. Bite his words is a more powerful way of saying think before speaking.
Which of Achebe's novel title taken from W.B. Yeats' poem The Second Coming? A. Arrow of God. B. A Man of the People. C. Things Fall Apart. D. Anthills of Savannah. Correct answer, C. Things Fall Apart. In The Second Coming, the Christian era falls and gives way to the modern era, an event which, in Yeats's mind, occurred as a result of World War I. The poem states that as anarchy is imposed on the world in the wake of the fall of religion, things fall apart.
In Things Fall Apart, the character Anoko is Okonkwo's A. second wife, B. favorite daughter, C. best friend, D. father. Correct answer, D. father. Anoko is Okonkwo's father, who defied typical Igbo masculinity by neglecting to grow yams, take care of his wives and children, and pay his debts before he dies.
Who offers comfort and support to Ajialu after he has been imprisoned by Tony Clark in Arrow of God? A. Captain Winterbottom. B. Unakakwu. C. John Nowadica. D. John Wright. Comment your reply.
Quotes by Chinua Achebe. The Nobel Prize is important. But it is a European prize. It's not an African prize. The only thing we have learnt from experience is that we learn nothing from experience. If you don't like someone's story, write your own.